Dooby-dooby-dooba, 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 Agent P.
Right, that was an interesting one, mate. Welcome back to the Rucking Good podcast, episode 2, James.
Woo, episode 2. We've made it this far. That is impressive.
We really have. We can't stop now. We're at such a
high streak.
We really are. We can't stop. But how do you feel about episode 1? We'll start with that.
I really enjoyed episode 1. I actually listened to it 3 times.
I think I probably listened to about 4 or 5.
Yeah. And we forced all our friends to listen to it. And most of the general consensus was, I don't know much about rugby, but I like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was talking to one friend earlier who said that exact quote. So shout out to you who made it first 20 minutes. No one texted us the secret word at the end.
No. Oh, wait, no family members texted the secret word. They
did tell me they listened to the whole thing. So
right.
One of my sisters said that she listened to the whole thing. My other sister said she didn't listen to the whole thing. So yeah, they will be unnamed.
Bit suspicious from you two. Anyways, so good feedback for the first episode. On to the second. Now, we've just had the first weekend of Six Nations.
That we did.
And what was the first game, James? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. It was
I don't want to bring it up.
Shall I talk about this game? Because I feel like it's a bit of a tough spot for you.
I've got some notes, but you can
we can
start off.
Joint discuss. So it was Ireland versus Wales, Thomas, was it not?
It was indeed.
Yes, and now, if I was actually watching the highlights this morning, and what a game it was, Tom. What a game. What was it? 2 tries in the first 8 minutes to Ireland?
I believe so. I didn't watch the game live. I did decide to watch it afterwards.
You didn't watch the game live?
I did. I was in work.
You were working.
But I did get some live score updates from Father Llewellyn, and he wasn't a happy bunny.
God, what a bloke. Do you know what? I watched the first half at home and I watched the second half in the pub. And it was great mentioning all the Welsh boys that were there. But then when the in-game came on, it wasn't quite as nice. So
yeah. Right, we'll start off with the Ireland-Wales game. 34-10 to Ireland in Cardiff.
34-10 it was, yes. I had to just double-check the score there for my visual audience. I don't know if I like having visuals now. I'm a bit...
Are you scared?
Well, it's just a bit like... I don't know. I just... I
don't think we got many views on YouTube. We got about 60 views, but I think
Mostly you?
No, I think the maximum time watched was actually like 4 hours. So not bad.
4 hours?
4 hours.
It was an hour long?
Yeah.
So 4
out of the 60 views.
Oh, I see. Right. That's not great. But hey.
We take it. We did have quite a lot on Spotify.
Yeah. Did we?
I believe so.
Go on.
I believe so.
Do you know, I bet there's people that we know that haven't told us that they listen to it. That'd be quite cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know Charlotte's listened to it twice.
Does she?
I've listened to it like 4 times.
I listened to it once on YouTube, once on Spotify, and once on the podcast link. So, wasn't all around it, but yeah.
But I'd say we got good feedback. I didn't hear anything bad.
No,
I had people that didn't like rugby saying they enjoyed it and things like that.
Yeah, and that's what we like.
That is what we like. But yeah, 34-10.
Yeah, if we can make people want to like rugby because of us, that'd be great.
Exactly.
34-10, yeah. So, I mean, Wales, Ireland just demolished the first half of the game, didn't they? And I think that Wales stopping them scoring much more than 34 is pretty impressive, but...
I think they just battered us. They battered Wales physically like the whole game.
It was very impressive.
The first half was absolute shambles.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Wales started to come back, at the start of the second half. But it just those Warren Gatland's tricks we were waiting for, they just didn't come out.
They didn't come yet.
They didn't come.
Is he hiding them off his sleeve?
Maybe. But let's talk a little bit about the game. So some players did play good. We had Joe Hawkins, Rio Dyer. They played pretty well. 2 young lads. Joe Hawkins' second cap as well.
Rio Dyer's pretty new as well, isn't he?
Yeah, Rio Dyer's only had a few caps, so that was pretty impressive from the both of them. I only saw the extended highlights, but it looked like every time Rio Dyer had the ball, there was...
Bit of magic.
Yeah, there was a bit of something there.
I thought, was it Adam Beard who had that big turnover that kind of changed the game in the second half?
Maybe.
I think he hit a ruck and it just kind of scrambled the Irish attack a bit. And
we also had Jack Morgan, who played... okay, not his best.
Your favourite, yeah.
In terms of the general team performance, I think he was one of the standouts.
Yeah.
But realistically, that back was pretty poor on the day.
Any thoughts on Alan Wynne-Jones?
I'm not sure. I think he's not the best option. I think if Will Rowlands wasn't injured, I don't think he'd even be in the 23-man squad.
Oh, things you love to hear.
I think I said this last week.
I know, but it's like...
There's no doubt the man's a legend of the game. He's up there as one of the best ever. But no, you still remain that anyway.
It's just nice to hear.
Let's not pretend that Brian O'Driscoll wasn't great in his last year or two.
It's just nice to hear, isn't it?
It is
The
for
Welsh
you, I suppose.
slagging off.
I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying
AWJ.
when you hit a certain age, you hit a peak, and young players come through with a bit more about them. Simple as that.
You hit your peak at, what, 15? Was it?
Oh, I'd say 16. 16 was a good year.
For the ankle injury.
Yeah.
Then you would have gone
I could have gone pro if I
Then you
didn't
would
have
have gone
it.
pro, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely would have.
If it wasn't for the ankle.
But yeah.
Ospreys Academy, I heard.
In terms of Wales, I think they were pretty poor throughout the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty embarrassing, especially at home. I think Ireland are on a different level. Obviously, that is not taking any credit away from them. They are ridiculously good at the moment. Ridiculously good. I personally,
Well, they're
after
favourites.
that game, would say favourites.
And they were already favourites, weren't they?
Yeah, just about.
I would say, I would agree with you 100%. They are favourites for Grand Slam. Because
Yeah,
if anyone's going to get the Grand Slam, it'll be Ireland.
absolutely.
I don't think France will get the Grand Slam.
Well, we'll talk about that game between Ireland and France a little bit later. But we'll go straight on to the England-Scotland game. We don't need to go too into these games. I think we saw what we saw. But yeah, England-Scotland, 29-23 to England. What is that, the fourth year in a row Scotland have won the Calcutta Cup?
And, yeah, well, it wasn't great. But fucking credit to Johan van der Merwe. What a player.
What a player.
Did you say you had his wonder try up?
We do. We have a little video
We'll have a look
here.
at that and say, what was the final score? 20?
So 29-23 to Scotland.
It was proper close for a while, and England were up, and it was a good game. And
It always is. Between
Calcutta Cup
those
is
two.
always a banging game, but it's the only game Scotland play well in to our detriment, and that's not ideal.
It's not ideal
Especially
whatsoever.
Twickenham, in Twickenham as well. If it was in Murrayfield, you kind of be like, But you know, the same with Gatland is like, just had Borthwick come in, new coaching staff, there's movements in the coaching staff. There's a few different players that are coming in. I put Dan Cole as my super sub for my fantasy team, and he had a not very impactful game. So I thought he would kind of pull a few more advantages in the scrum of the second half, but not to be, I guess. But hey, you know.
I'll get this in straight away. We were obviously going to do the fantasy league. We will from the second week on, but I had a bit of a stinker. I did forget to do my first team. Got a bit busy. Realised about 5 minutes after the first kick-off that actually I hadn't done it yet. So Sam is ahead in the league that we haven't even created yet. So
Yeah. Are you in the uni rugby team league?
I don't think I've downloaded the app yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing very well. So I think last time I checked...
It's time. There's plenty of time. A super sub is a big super sub win is all you need.
Well, I've just changed my... Obviously, I don't know off the top of my head, but last time I checked, I think I was somewhere like 18th out of 25. So... And there weren't many people. There was a lot of people above me as well.
As a host of the Rucking Good podcast, you've got to represent us in this league now.
Yeah.
Because I did actually come second in that league last year.
Did you?
Yeah, very close to first, very close. So you got a representative. But yeah, England, Scotland, another year, another Scotland win.
I do believe the top of the league actually is another Welsh Tom, but not you. Unless it's Jits. Oh shit! How do I look? Here we go. Oh no, I lied. He's not. He's in on 5th. I am in of 26, 16th.
Not bad, not terrible.
No, but there's 10 people below me and there's 15 people above me, so I'm in the bottom half.
A big super sub's all you need.
Bear in mind, the top of the league has got 742 points and I've got 500. So yeah, there's a bit of a climb. Sorry, carry on. We were talking about actual real rugby, not fantasy.
One thing that we will talk about, I want to get your opinions on this because I don't think we've talked about this actually since the weekend. But there's been a lot of talk about Marcus Smith and Owen Farrell as a 10-12 duo.
Now,
and we'll drop this in quickly. It has actually been dropped for this weekend. Marcus Smith has been dropped. He will start on the bench.
I haven't actually checked the team sheet.
We'll check that. We'll get onto this weekend's results. But yeah, just for reference, people have been slating the duo and saying it doesn't work. And for this weekend, Borthwick has agreed and he's switched it up. But yeah, based on the game just gone.
Interesting.
What do you think about that 10-12 duo?
See, I think they didn't play well together this weekend. But I don't think it means they're a shit duo. I think they've worked well together in the past. Look at the wins they have won together. You know, they can play well together. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know if it's a, Farrell being, I should be playing dead. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's just a simple of that game was shit. They didn't play well. No one played well, realistically. Had England won that game, England got one more try. One more, what was the score difference? Was it a penalty?
6 points.
Yeah, so, okay, England got one more converted try. No one would be mentioning that 12-10 draw, So I just think it's the classic... Now it's happened, everyone's saying, oh, this is what's wrong, this is wrong. I don't think they're as bad as people say they are. Maybe there's better 10, 9, 10 jurors, 10, 12 jurors out there. Maybe, so. Do I think out of the two, I think they're both incredible 10s. So, maybe I'm being biased, but I just don't think it's as... I feel like people are being dramatic. I think there's room to improve, but I don't think they're the worst.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I'd say most people have been slating it, but you have seen the odd few that have said this, like they're an incredible 10,
well,
12
I think
jurors, so...
Squidge Rugby said that he liked them as a 10, 12 juror.
I think he's my dream podcast guest, you know.
Oh, yes.
One day.
He's my favourite...
I love him.
Rugby content, anything, is Squidge Rugby. He's just so...
I think the whole rugby community loves him.
Yeah, he's like the most credible source. So, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is my dream podcast guest isn't Squidge Rugby, it's the Rugby guy.
Oh, wait, yeah. No, I can back that. He's a firm second for me, I'd say.
I watched him play at Sandy Park in one of the testimonial matches.
Love that. I wonder what he thinks of the 10, 12 deal between Mark Smith and Owen Farrell.
I'd love to know.
We'll find out one day. But
let's have a look at this track then.
Okay, well, I'll look at this track, and then I've just got a question to ask you later. So.
Oh, we're not showing the screen.
They can't see it now, but so I believe we've all seen it. It's been on everyone's Instagram feeds,
what time
Twitter
of the game?
feeds.
Okay, I was pretty sober at this point in the game, so I do remember it. But
so
7-5 to Scotland at this point.
Buck kick down the field, straight to Van der Merwe, bins off one player,
beats off,
runs off two. Jamie George is in the dust. Marcus Smith is chasing afterwards.
Shit tackle.
Bins him, bounces him off.
Who was that?
Off
He just
you
couldn't
go.
get a grip.
That is Alex Donbrandt.
So, yeah, he beats, what, about 6, 7 players?
I counted earlier, I think it was 7 if you're going to count Marcus Smith, who's jogging behind the whole time, knowing for a fact he's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good try. People, I remember when it happened.
1, 2,
people
3,
were saying it was a try for the ages. It was one of the best in the world.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6 players.
I think, in my personal opinion, hot take, but it's not really, because I've seen a lot of people say this. I think that is one of the best Six Nations tries that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Seriously, ever?
Ever. You've got to think, he's made a whole team look silly there.
Yeah.
He hasn't even thought about a pass there. He doesn't need one.
Did you see as well, his shoelaces are untied?
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
That's one. That's two. Jamie George is jogging behind. He's got no chance.
But he's never going to catch
He bins him off.
Don Brandt shouldn't have made that tackle.
So I've seen that from a different angle. It looks like when Van der Merwe had it in his right hand, Don Brandt was looking to knock it out, and then right here he switches it within a split second, and he's just gone for the wrong approach there. I think had he gone low, back,
just press. He's gone off.
I think had he gone low, I think he would have nailed it now.
If you look at his boots, you can also see his shoelaces untied, and that's the thing for me. That's the kicker. Is he didn't even fucking have his shoes
he
tied.
Really has made a whole team
it's so hard to watch.
Absolutely silly.
That is so poor.
Don Brown, off you go. Marcus Smith knows he hasn't got a chance.
That's really,
Jamie George is still looking for him. It's incredible if you ask me. I think it's one of the better Six Nations tries I've ever seen.
It's a very good try, but I think my favourite tries are flowing running rugby where they get it out and they get it round and they get good tries.
Tell me this, if Jack Nolan scored that, would you not be saying this is the best try you've ever seen?
Maybe, I don't know. But then
I think he's made a whole. He hasn't even just made the team look silly. He's made a whole nation feel silly there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not. Don't get me wrong. It's a fucking phenomenal try. And I'm obviously not liking it because it's against England. But yeah, I don't know. Scotland deserve the win. They definitely play better. And you know, I don't know. Like people saying it's the best try in the world. I don't think. I think there's a lot.
It's not the best try ever, but that is one of the. If you had to ask me to point out a highlight from like a try highlight, that's up there for me.
Yeah.
Ever. That's incredible. But yeah, shout out Van der Merwe. I'm sure he's listening. Yeah.
What you're about to bring up next, I got
so this is so you said you watched this from the home first half and then the pub, correct?
That was the Wales game. I watched this one in the pub.
Oh, this one's but okay. But you watched this game in the pub.
The Scotland-England game I watched in the pub.
Did you not mention that you were meant to be actually in Twickenham for this game? I would pull up some of Sam's footage that he got at the match, but do you want to tell us why we haven't got any Sam?
Listen to the first episode and you'll find out why I was meant to be there. Why wasn't I there, Thomas? Well,
you tell me, fella.
This, I don't know how much I can really say. I don't know if it's
just mention the fact that some things came out that didn't happen.
I got to the bus stop, ready to get onto the coach to go take them to Twickenham, and I asked in the group chat, "Where is everyone? Why is no one else at the bus stop?" My immediate thought, I've missed the bus. Fuck, I hadn't missed the bus. No, the bus company went bankrupt the night before, and the tickets all fell through, and I don't know what happened, and I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know how I don't know what I can say. What I
But
can't
either
say,
way,
but
you actually ended up in Yates, I believe,
Yates, Cheltenham, yeah.
instead of Twickenham, London.
Instead of London, yes. So, you know,
You take it on the chin. You could have been a first-hand witness to that absolute murdering from Van der Merwe there.
yeah,
Personally, I'd rather be as far away from that as I could be as an England
that's
fan.
a highlight, yeah. But I feel like had I been there, England probably would have won because
You did
they
say
would have
last
realised-
week you'd get the chance going.
But
and
also,
you'd
like,
have-
yeah, they would have realised, like, oh shit, James Sampson's in the box. We'll get him get his boots on, get him on the pitch. He'll run around them, and I would have scored.
I'm
But,
sure that was on Borthwick's mind right before you even turned up.
yeah, he was gutted. That's why there was a bit of changing in the squad because
I think Gregor Townsend was actually behind the bus company going under.
it could have been actually.
He knew you were a threat.
He did.
But that means you're also in the pub for Italy, France. Actually, no, you weren't. That was
No,
the
it
next
wasn't. It was
day.
the
Where
next
were
day.
you for the next day?
You silly Billy.
Where were you the next
I
day?
was sat in the comfort of my own sofa.
What
Little
did
bit
you see
hungover.
on the sofa? This game actually ended 29-24, which is a way off
Yeah.
what we thought
Do
it
you
was
know
going to be.
I was a bit upset because I was a bit poorly on the Sunday and I didn't watch the whole game because I was in and out of the poorly room. Nice glug.
It's the cable.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Yeah.
like glug.
No, it's the cable.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, so I was a bit ill, so I didn't watch the whole game, but I did watch most of it. And poor boy, what a game! What a fucking game!
I think it's just not what we expected whatsoever, is it?
Well,
Scoreline wise, I think we predicted it was going to be a pretty comfortable win for France.
yeah, but we also did talk about how we thought this was Italy's best year, and
No, yeah, but we said they'd give it a good go, but we didn't think I didn't think they were going to give it that good a go.
really thought Italy were going to win it at one point. They were up right towards the end, and it went into the red. The clock went red, and Italy was still going for it. And I was so on board. I was chanting out the Italian national anthem. I don't know the Italian national anthem, but I was like,
Do you want to give
Italia,
give us a rendition of that now?
pasta, pizza, mamma mia, like a carbonara.
Okay, let's cut that off. Absolutely not.
Sorry if that's xenophobic. I do like Italian food.
Italian food is good. Do you know what is good? Do you know what's even better than Italian food?
What's better than Italian food?
Italian winger, Ange Caputo.
Well,
What a player.
he's an amazing player. I have a question for you, Tom.
Yes.
Is he an Italian winger?
He is born in France.
And his parents are French,
He is.
and he has a French passport.
But Van der Merwe is South African and
Yeah, I
plays
know.
for Scotland.
So-
And Manu Tuilagi is like Tongan, plays for England. I could name you about 7 England players at the moment that aren't actually from
There's
England.
about 2.
So we got both Vunipolas.
Well,
Manu Tuilagi.
Billy doesn't play.
Okay, I'm talking like in general.
Okay,
But we'll
this
not bring
is never solved.
that's arguing for another time of national representation and
That's
such.
another- yeah.
But that's
But-
another episode.
That was something I did look at. I saw earlier on social media. Was there is a picture of Caputo holding a French passport, and it's caused a little bit of uproar, I think.
But the fact that he managed to knock like his home country,
Yeah,
well, almost knocked his home country down in the first round, pretty impressive. Also, what's even more impressive is a year ago, that man was playing second division rugby.
was it?
Absolutely.
Who was he playing for?
He was playing for Grenoble, I believe, something like that,
Where the hell is Grenoble?
somewhere in France.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant championship in.
No,
this
no,
country.
second division France.
Right.
It's like the Pro D2. So when he actually scored that winning try against Wales last
He
year,
was still playing second.
he was
division.
still playing second division
That's
rugby.
mad. Do you
And
know what?
now he's playing for Toulouse.
Is he okay? Well, that helps because he can probably speak French.
But the fact that even like a year and a half ago, that man was a second division
He is-
French rugby player is incredible,
He's an insane player.
unreal.
One of my favourites because I always said that I really liked Garbisi for Italy. But I don't. Is he injured or did he play? I can't remember if he played or not.
No, so Tommaso Allen.
Yeah,
played, I
he must
believe.
be injured. I don't know what's up with him, or maybe he's just been dropped. But I always said I really like Paolo Garbisi. But like, just now,
Yeah,
he's
he's
just been knocked
incredible.
out the park by this winger. He's like,
No, but that's like that's the golden generation now. Those two.
oh yeah. Well, this is what I was saying last week. It's that young side.
Yeah,
Even the leaders in that team are young.
absolutely.
And so it's like now they've got this young side that are so like I think imagine being the guys that are representing your country and you know that your country's been the shittest team for years. You're gonna have some fucking dog in you, aren't you? You're gonna
Oh, absolutely.
you're not gonna take that line down.
I think Parise would have loved to have. Sergio Parise would have loved to play in this current Italy squad.
There was talk of him a little while coming back. Did you
Well,
hear about
because he was
this?
meant to retire in the World Cup, and then
he
he didn't
didn't-
get his farewell game because of the tsunami, so the game got cancelled.
Yeah.
So then COVID happened, so he never got to have his farewell games. They were going to bring him back in to give them this one big farewell match, and I don't think it happened in the end because, well, results.
But there was a talk of, I think he was going to come out of retirement briefly, but this might have been a couple of seasons ago, so don't quote me on that. This seemed to what I remember just hearing about.
Yeah.
But I love the Italian side. It's like watching this little team mature and like.
Exactly, because we would have grown up like our whole lives just absolutely slating them. They are even now to me. I want to think of them as a bonus point game.
Yeah,
but they're scaring me. They scare me, James.
I'm backing them.
Oh, they scare me. They're going to beat Wales this year.
I'm going to put money on them beating Wales.
They're going to beat Wales, but what I've also been telling people is they're going to beat either Scotland or England. They won't beat both, but one of them is going to bottle it.
Because what's going to happen this week is Wales versus Scotland, isn't it?
Yes.
Wales are going to once again dismantle the Scottish hype train.
Yeah.
And then I think Italy are going to make Scotland look like children playing against men.
Should we just go straight on to the Scotland-Wales game now?
Well, have we still got anything else we need to talk about the France-Italy?
Well, we've got France-Italy. I don't think so.
No. I mean, it's just, what a game. What a game.
And what a team they're on this peak right now, and they're not climbing back down.
What it means as well is what you'd like to see as well is that if you're France and you're thinking we're favourites for the World Cup, and we've just been in a 5-point different game against Italy, who are, I think France are like number 3 in the world and Italy are number like 15 in the world. So it's, I don't know the exact numbers, but that's worrying for the top teams,
Absolutely.
If a team like Italy can come out and pull that out of their pockets.
But also I think France are known to not travel well.
But to Italy,
yeah, but
it's only over the border, man.
No, but like you can't. Still, I think Italy are incredible at the moment. They really are. I think they'll beat Wales again.
Oh, mamma mia.
I really do. One of them will.
They're going to do Wales and
either Scotland or England. I don't think Scotland. I think it'll be England. They're wanting that first win against them.
Well, it's next week, isn't it? This weekend, even. Sorry, at Twickenham.
It is. So right, we'll start off in order of games. We'll go with Ireland France first.
Oh, what a game! This is going to be.
That's a title decider straight away.
Exactly, for sure.
No other team this weekend has shown me that they're in the title race
so far. Just going off the basis, because I still back England to win.
Absolutely not.
Well, they have to, don't you?
Absolutely not.
I can't sit here and say England are going to win. Anyway, Ireland France, the winner of this game, will go on to win it. I reckon. If something else doesn't magically happen, because teams like England and Wales with the new coaching staffs, they could pull not strings, but they could pattern up and work out what's wrong and deal with it within the next 2 weeks and still go on to do well. Because imagine if England do Ireland in and stuff like that, then it's like there's big wins there. But I think if Ireland win against France, I could see Ireland getting the Grand Slam. If France beat Ireland, I could see France winning it without a Grand Slam.
I'd agree. Especially because this game last year decided the title. France won 32-24 to win the Grand Slam.
And where was that? Stade de France?
That was in France, yeah.
Yeah, so this is in the Aviva?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is Ireland's home turf, and, well, yeah, this is going to be the biggest game in the tournament, isn't it?
Absolutely. But I think I was back in France for the tournament, but based on this weekend, I think I'm going to have to go.
Either
with
way,
Ireland at the moment.
It's going to be a mid-scoring game, but intense.
Oh yeah, it won't be one of those. It won't be like a tri-fest whatsoever.
No, I think
it's going to be.
But I don't think it's going to be like 12-7. I think it'll be like.
I'm going to go
34-27.
I'm going to go 25-19 to Ireland.
So I just said 20. 30, what did I say? 30.
Not a clue.
34-27. That's my final offer. 34-27, and you're saying
25-19.
25-19 to
Ireland.
See, no, I said that, but I don't even know who I think is going to win it.
I think
it's got to be Ireland. I'm back in Ireland.
Yeah.
Just 34. No.
They'll be wanting that revenge from last year.
34-27 Ireland, because it's a home game, and they know that this is going to be their biggest game in Dortmund, don't they?
And they're flying at the moment, absolutely flying.
Do you know what? It kind of makes me excited though, because it means that it's 1 year out from the World Cup and Ireland doing really well again.
Oh yeah, no.
So-
We're going to mention this again, but yeah, Ireland will win the Grand Slam this year, and then come World Cup in September, they'll get to the quarterfinal and get to the semis.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
If they make the pool stage, you see, I can't remember who's in the pool. I'm trying to pull up right now is the Rugby World Rankings, but my phone is broken, so it's kind of taking me a minute. So yeah, one sec.
But yeah,
Here we go. Rugby World Rankings. That's what is that? Is not. That's the last World Cup. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Ireland on top, France in second, New Zealand, South Africa, and then Scotland. So Scotland are in the highest position they've ever been,
yeah,
in fifth.
and that goes straight into Scotland versus Wales this weekend.
It does.
It really does.
So, well, according just to the world rankings, Scotland in fifth, Wales in ninth. This should be Scotland's game.
Let me counter argue that. Ryan Gatland, 12 years as Wales coach.
Yeah.
12 wins against Scotland, 0 losses.
Right.
In 2021, England beat Scotland. The following week, lost to Wales.
Yeah.
In 2022, Scotland beat England.
Lost to Wales.
Lost to Wales the following week. 2023, we can't guarantee yet, but I think it's fair to say, based on the past, Wales win.
Yeah, just from patterns.
We'll get into the Wales squad. That back row that maybe didn't work out so well this weekend. I think most days it will. You had Falatau, Tippery, and Jack Morgan. That's incredible. But on the day, it just didn't work.
Yeah, and that's 3 big names as well.
That's huge. And 9 times out of 10, those 3 are incredible. But the team performance just wasn't there. But they've actually gone for Chris Sunzer at flanker this weekend instead of Tipperick.
Wow.
They got Jack Morgan pushed to 8.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Raffel
On the other flank.
And then they've actually got David Jenkins
Play it starting.
starting at 5 instead of Alan Jones.
Wowee. Well,
So you've got the 2 young Exeter lads that we mentioned last week.
that you do love to see.
Both making a start this weekend. So that'll definitely bring a bit of youth into squad. Other than that, I think it's mostly the same.
Yeah. This is going to be a good game.
I think
this
so.
could be a great
I was
game.
actually at the game last year, and
Wait.
it was a close one. It was tense, but I was thoroughly happy with the
I think
performance.
Scotland are doing very well. Wales aren't doing so well. I think that this is, again, another kind of, not title decider, but like, this game will sort of set the stone of how well where Wales and Scotland will both finish in the Six Nations. I think if Scotland absolutely bum Wales, Wales are going to finish bottom.
I just don't see it happening. I think the only thing for me that is slightly worrying is, Sam Walton came out and said it a few days ago, actually, that bringing all these young players in now, this early for the World Cup, and expecting them to kind of lead the path in the World Cup is too late. So
Yeah.
maybe Dav Jenkins and Christians are maybe not the best shout, considering you just got a bit of a beating from Ireland, but they've got to get on the pitch at some point.
Well,
and
you've got to let them play.
And that's the thing. With
let them
Ron
cook.
Gatland's just come in, and he's not got much to lose. He's just taken on the team a month before the Six Nations, so you've got to give them a run out. And I'm actually quite excited to see how they do.
Yeah, so am I actually.
2 massive lads down in Devon,
just tearing up Sandy Boy up every week.
Oh, I don't know every week. I don't think they both start every week, to be honest. So that's my only thing about them starting for Wales.
I think Chinza starts a lot more than David Jenkins does.
Yeah.
Did you see this? I saw this today. It was a throwback to, I think it's the Under-20 World Cup, Under-20s World Cup, and the video of David Jenkins joining in the Springboks little watering hole.
It is incredible.
Pun not intended. Sorry. The Springboks Under-20s are drinking some water, and David Jenkins comes in. They're all wearing white. He comes in bright red in the middle of it all.
That is top-notch like shit house, isn't it? You do love to see that sort of stuff in rugby.
That flared up again. It said something like, the Scotland Water Boys better be on there.
That is incredible.
Best keeping their eyes peeled anyway for tall Welsh blokes coming in and stealing their water.
Scotland and Wales, I think Scotland, they'll want to carry on from the England game, but I don't think they normally do too well at that.
No, they don't. And it's usually Wales that sort of topple them over as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a really close game. It's not always the most exciting game.
No, but I feel like this could be a good one though. I feel like it's going to be a tough one.
That's the thing. We've got some new names in the Welsh squad. Like I can think of at least four boys in there now. You got Dav Jenkins, Chris Joe Hawkins, Rio Dyer, who are all starting.
Yeah.
So it's a new look sort of Wales squad mixed with some old heads.
But I like when a squad, any squad, has got a young talent, because I think young talent is so. When you see someone young coming in and it's like they're less than 10 caps and they're working their magic, Like, that is something that's great watching that. Isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
and,
like,
and that's the thing. It makes the game more exciting. I don't have to sit here and assume it's going to do the same as last year.
yeah, exactly. And you think, oh yeah, it's, for example, like you're not just watching the same old hats going, oh, just doing the same old boring rugby. You're watching new talent. You're watching people that you've seen at club level just dominating, and you're just like, yeah, that's what we need in that team. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
fresh minds, fresh legs, fresh heads. Like,
Yeah.
people coming in and make a difference.
Yeah. And then after that, on the Sunday, we've got England, Italy at Twickenham.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be an England win. After watching the France game, think they're less confident because. Well, I'm sorry. I'm less confident because of watching that France game. If Italy are ever to beat England, it will be this game, but I don't think they will win. I think it'll be closer.
I think Italy have got to get that first one against England at some point, and I fear, as a Welsh supporter, I fear for myself. So I genuinely think, as an English supporter, everyone should be at least a little bit scared.
Yeah, no, I especially watching that. It's not like you said it earlier. With it's an easy bonus point win. I don't think it's going to be a bonus point win.
No, I don't think anyone's going to get a bonus point against. I don't think there's going to be many teams.
Ireland maybe, but
yeah, but I don't think they're not going to be the rollover team they used to be anymore. Especially
for sure.
Not this year anyway.
But I fucking love that because it's kind of. I remember last year I was working the whole Six Nations. The only game I had off was England and Italy. I watched it in spoons. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't that early, but it was the morning. Or it must be 1 p.m. kickoff. So I can't remember what kickoff was. But anyway, sat there watching it, and I was sat in spoons, and I was like, no one had really come to the pub to watch it, and I was kind of just a bit bored because it was just an easy dub.
Yeah.
So having that as Italy being like the team that it's like, like when a team loses to Italy, it's always that to Italy like reaction.
Yeah.
That's gonna die out.
I think it has died out now.
Not almost.
I'd say so. Who did they beat in the autumn? That was a pretty big win. So they obviously beat Wales in the Six Nations. No, that was in the Six Nations.
No, it was Georgia that beat Wales, wasn't it? Did they beat Australia? No.
It was someone big they took right to the edge. Right, you have a little chat and I'll do some research on you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is Italy's future. Is what I do hope doesn't happen is that they have a few good seasons on the bounce and then they just fall back into their old ways. I wouldn't want that because this is a sales order.
Yeah, I'm just getting it up now.
Because if they just fall back into their old ways, I wouldn't be so happy because it's kind of like you have this hype and then it all dies down. But I think, Tom, you found your...
So they beat Australia.
There you go, that's what
28-27 on the 12th of November. So beating Wales Six Nations, in Australia in the autumn.
Was that in Italy?
It was, yes.
Yeah, Florence.
Yeah. So I'd argue that they've just taken France right to the edge.
Yes.
So I'd argue that's gone.
Oh boy.
It'll be harder for an England fan because
I don't think it's gone. I think the whole to Italy reaction isn't quite gone, but it will be going soon if they keep.
As an England fan, they still have never beat you.
No.
Whereas for most other nations now they have.
Yeah.
So that'll be a killer. An absolute killer.
I'd want to get a table up saying of all the teams they haven't beat and stuff. That'd be interesting.
That'd be hard work to get right now.
No, I'm not saying it right now, but I think maybe we can pull it out for next year. Week. But fucking hell, yeah, Italy. Woo-hoo, let's go, boys. Still got that bet on for them to win the Six Nations.
Have you?
Yeah.
What was it again?
50p, £250 return.
Oh, it's not a bad bet, that.
It's really good because if I lose 50p and get to see Italy play all right. If I win, I get 250 quid and watch Italy win their first Six Nations in 23 years. I didn't know why I had to look at the time then. It's 23 and it's 2023.
But the big team news, the England squad came out about an hour ago.
Yeah, I actually haven't looked at it yet. Can we put that?
Yeah, we'll get that now.
I was in a lecture.
The big omission is Marcus Smith, who has actually been dropped.
So this is Cameron people. This is my live reaction. You've googled football there, my son.
No, I've typed in England squad. It's not my fault you live in a football dominant country.
No,
Move to Wales, where we actually appreciate a good sport. Anyways, so
it's on their Instagram. Go on their Instagram.
Ben Young's left out
from the squad or on the bench.
So we got.
Okay. Oh wait.
Oh, that's awkward.
Put it up on Twitter.
Right, you carry on talking then, because there's a lot of silence here, mate. You can fill it in.
So I haven't seen the England squad yet, so this is going to be a blind reaction to this. But like I said, I am thinking this is going to be a good win for England, but I think Italy are going to shock again and then pull out a good score. So what's the quote? Oh, don't get nervous, but I'm a little bit nervous. There you go. Right, we got the squad up here. So can I
start off with the back? So we've got Owen Farrell at fly off instead of Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith on the bench.
Lawrence and Slade in the centre.
Yeah,
I like that a lot as a centre pairing. That's a very good. I think Lawrence is a very good player. I really rate Slade. He's got that boot on him. He's class. Do you know what? I'm not mad about the 10-12. I think they do work as a 10-12, but I think it's also worth keeping them not as the go-to 10-12 because I think there is issues that need to be ironed out.
I can't lie. That 10, 12, 13 balls me a little bit.
Balls you?
Balls me.
Why?
Because you've got these players. You've got Marcus Smith. He's an exciting 10. He's not always the best for closing out games. And then you've got like the likes of Owen Farrell. He's not quite Johnny Sexton boring.
Right.
But he's not that exciting, fun sort of player. Henry Slade, I've said this before.
Don't like Henry Slade.
I'm not a huge fan. See, I just can't pick up many performances where he's made like a huge line break. That's
but the thing is you're not going to be looking for the positives because you hate England.
No, because I have my England players that I like. Anthony Watson's an animal. Yeah. Freddie Stewart, while I think is overrated, is a brilliant player.
I think he's one of the best 15s in the world.
Tuilagi, I think is insane.
Yeah.
But Henry Slade for me, he just doesn't do it for me.
I don't know. I really like Slade. I think he's a very good player.
Ollie Lawrence, I can't tell much about him to be honest.
Ollie Lawrence he's kind of been in and out of the England squad for the last few years. I mean, he's not really had much of a chance to flourish, I don't think, but now he has. I mean, I was at the pub watching the game the other day, and at half time, people were saying, "Get Farrell off, get Lawrence on," so they were calling for that. I think that's not a bad centre pairing. Jack Van Poortvliet is doing sound at 9.
If you didn't want to go for the Farrell Smith combination, then would you drop Farrell or would you drop Marcus Smith? Because realistically, he was never going to get a drop Farrell. They seem to like, even when
Farrell's just such a thing is you've got to think this from the viewer point of view. It's very different. If you're in that camp, Farrell is the leader.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's the captain. They were never going to drop him. But also, like, you've had two coaches now where there was the first time he got knocked out of fly half by George Ford. They just found a new position for him. Started playing him at 12. He makes it back into fly half. Ford isn't performing. Smith comes back in. They found him another place. They put him back at centre. They refuse to drop him.
The thing is, people do forget is that Farrell started at centre. His first cap he played 12. So people say Farrell's a 10. He should only be playing 10. Why is he playing that?
He's better at 10.
He is good 10. He's a very good 10. But it doesn't mean he's not a bad 12. I think you've just got to get the pairing.
He's not a bad 12. He is just better at 10. But he's not as good at 10 as the other options.
But I don't know. I think if you says rule out the 10-12 Smith Farrell pairing, I'm saying bench Smith for now for the next few seasons, just because of Farrell's leadership. You know, it like people don't like him as a player because they see him do these dodgy tackles sometimes and stuff. But I think in that squad, he is such a figurehead. He is such a leader. He's needed on the pitch. You know, he's been captain for the last however many years. Crazy amount of years for a reason, you know. It's not just because he's all right at 10. He's a very good player, and people forget about this happens. And I still do really rate him. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go into a sort of player coach role in the new sort of.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt he's on his way out. He's been on his way out. I don't think he's the player you would have been excited by a few years ago. He's kind of just there now because he is the captain. But this
is what I'm saying is in that team because he's such a leader. It works with the team, and that's why he's in there. You know, I think that's what you got to remember is like stuff like that. But yeah, that back line is looking pretty tasty again, same as last week. Haskell, Stewart, and Maylands.
Let's not forget that Freddie Stewart got absolutely ripped apart by Van der Merwe last week. Yeah, but he made him look silly.
Maylands had an absolute storm again. You know, he played really well.
All right, let's go on to the fours now. I'll have a cheeky look at this. What's going on here?
Yeah. So same pack as last week, I think.
Was Jack Willis playing last week?
Jack Willis is in, yeah. Who's he placed? He's placed, who was it? I can't even remember now. Sale player, was it? Oh, Ben Curry.
Ben Curry, yes.
Yeah, so...
I really rate Jack. So you can say this about Welsh players, whatever. I really rate Jack Willis. Yeah. I think in the breakdown, that man's he's incredible over the ball.
He was kind of... When Jackling first became a big term, he was the big leader in that.
He's
famous for
that, yeah.
I think that front row is good. Atoje, again... Chesham was played all right. I kind of still think I would have had Johnny Hill in there. Lewis Ludlam played okay. Don Brandt again. I don't see. I don't know. The names that are kind of sticking out to me there is like Chesham and Ludlam. I question, but
Yeah.
you know they're new. They're making their mark, and that's fine, I guess. But just quickly get back. Sorry.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this game is obviously is the Marcus Smith being dropped sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's massive.
I just want to carry on. Sorry, back to Willis. I think Jack Willis is a class player, but I think because he's had these problems with injuries, he's getting to an age where he's not. He's at this age now where he's not had much international experience, and I think that kind of nice one, mate. I think that him being at this age where there's people his age who have had some international.
He's 26, James.
Yeah, but I'm saying the people his age. I'm not saying he's old.
Yeah.
I'm saying the same people his age have had more international experience than he has.
You've got people coming into the international squad not until they're 28.
Okay, well,
Let's not bring age into that. Jack Willis is incredible. Yes, he's injured all the time, but like,
I don't know. I think he's okay. Right,
who are you picking over him?
You've made me look like a right twat.
Who are you picking over him?
Who am I picking over him? I don't know. Well, you've put me on the spot here. But
I have put you on the spot. I'm going to continue to put you on the spot.
okay,
He's getting red, lads. All the visual watchers, go over to YouTube if you're on audio right now. He's gone a bit red.
It's hot in here. I'm a bit sunburned.
It is a bit warm, to be fair.
Do you know what? Now you put pressure. I think, I don't know, there's well, the point I was making originally was that I think there's people his age that have had more international experience, and I think if he wants to stay in the England squad, he's got to work his arse off and show that he's, got it in him.
I think when he's fit, I think he's in that squad anyway. I don't think he has much more to prove. He just needs to stay fit.
Yeah, I agree.
I think whenever I've seen him fit, I always think he's incredible. Like, he's one of those players I see in the pitch, I think, I don't want to swear, but bleep, he's going to turn over the ball, final minute, get him over.
Yeah.
He's scary over the ball. Incredible.
Are we not allowed to swear now? Because I've been swearing.
Have you sworn this podcast?
Yeah, definitely.
Have you?
Probably.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Are we allowed to?
I don't know.
Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, right.
I have now.
Maybe we'll be that. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Look at the bench. Okay. Jack Water. So same front row. Ezekiel Earl. Alex Mitchell. I don't know him. He's 9. I don't know what he's like. Smith and Henry Arundel. So it's an interesting bench. It's from sort of, there's a mix of inexperience and experience, I think.
It'd be nice to see Arundel get a bit of time at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think he got very, very hyped last year because that wonder try he scored. But ever since then, I've not really seen much.
There's a lot of, I think, young English sort of wingers and backs that get
incredibly overhyped.
They get screamed about, and then they play a couple caps, and then you don't hear about them again. Let's
make that the next topic then, because
I haven't researched
the last game. I think we've not got much more to talk about. We'll talk about that.
Okay, well,
in terms of like overhyping players.
Yeah, we might have to do like a little cutaway so I can have a look at players.
No. We'll just go. Well, I can go off the back and name a few.
Anyway, we'll go back to that. But yeah, so I think the bench. Yeah, I think that the 2 props, fine, happy with that. Jack Walker, did he even get any game time last week? If he did, it wasn't much. But again, I haven't really seen him play enough to make a question. But if he's getting in the squad, then he must be all right.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think you need to analyse the bench that much.
No, I don't know. I think Ezekiel Earl, fine, is coming off the bench. But yeah, Alex Mitchell, I'm not sure about. I don't really know much about him.
He probably won't come on.
Maybe, I don't know. Smith, hopefully he'll come on and work his Quinn's magic and pull some fingers, pull some strings and do some stuff there. And Henry Arundel, I want to see play well because again, he's one of these young ones who's kind of not really what's the word?
He's not got the game time in the last year.
Yeah, he's not had the game time, but he's also one of these ones that is dominating at the Prem and just is a big game in the Prem and then not so much in.
Yeah. Well, would you say this is one of my things? I think in England in particular, being from Wales, you come over here and there's a lot of talk about players being incredible, and like one of the best players in the world out of nowhere, kind of out of nowhere, and that's always been my problem since I've moved here. It was my problem before, and then I moved here and I realised actually the Premiership is not the be and all. It's not the highest level. You see Premiership clubs getting bad.
It's
in Europe. I mean, the Ospreys beat the Tigers the other week. Freddie Stewart was on the pitch.
What you're saying is a modern thing. I think the Prem has fallen off compared
in the last year.
In the last couple of years, yeah. I don't think a lot of that comes to things like teams getting folded because there's no money, and we talked about this last week with the Prem and Worcester and Wasps getting done in because of no money, and I think things like that affect why that happens.
Yeah.
And I think 5 years ago, I mean, look at it, that was in the last 5 years, X got the double, didn't they? Back then, the Prem was it was elite, it was one of the best tournaments. But now I think you watch some of the games from like the URC, and I don't watch.
Yeah, but the year you won the Prem, the year that you won the double, wasn't Leinster in the final with you?
No.
Who was it?
It was Racing.
What was it? Or was that not, who was the year before then? Leinster in the final against somebody.
I don't remember.
But either way, Leinster have always been. Leinster have probably won more European trophies in the last few years than any Premiership club.
Yeah, but that's not the point I'm making.
What is the point you're making?
The point I'm making is I think that the Prem. So if you look at now, modern day, the top 14 in the URC are probably a league ahead of the Prem.
The top 14 always was a league above.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is now. I'm saying it is, right?
No, but it was.
Yeah, I know, but let me finish my fucking point.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Right. So now they've both furthered away from themselves from the Prem. I think before it was a lot closer.
I don't know. I think the top 14. I think the top 14 was always known to be a lot better.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not
but
saying
you just
it wasn't,
don't get the publicity
but I think
for it.
Nowadays it's even more.
And like the URC gets talked about a lot at the moment, but it's only because there's a big rebrand.
It's because it's new. Yeah,
it's a big rebrand. All you've got is 4 new teams coming. They've taken 2 out and brought 4 new ones in. Realistically, I haven't really seen a difference in standard whatsoever.
No, I know.
They've just got a lot of money brought into it, and there's a lot more marketing around it.
I'm just going to Google the winners from the last few years, because there's like you said, there are,
because the Pro 14 used to get slated all the time, but you'd have Leinster beating all the French teams, all the English teams.
No, I know, but I'm not. You're being very in my face. I don't agree with that.
For the visual watchers, you can see that I'm actually not in his face.
Not actually in my face, because the microphone wouldn't pick it up then, would it? But let me try and search this. Just fill the air.
Fill the air. What do you want me to fill the air with?
I don't know. Your dulcet tones.
My what?
Your dulcet tones.
I don't know what that is.
Just your voice. Say something.
My voice. So, my game predictions, my score predictions for the weekend will be Italy will beat England.
Yep. No, 30, I disagree.
30-23.
Mm-hmm.
Wales will beat Scotland. I think I've already given that score, have I not?
Say it, Anthony.
I'm going to say...
We should have wrote these down.
25-19, I think I said earlier. And then Ireland, France, I will say somewhere around the same score. I think they're all going to be close games. But then again, last week my predictions were pretty off. My dad did text me and say that we were both pretty off with a lot of them. Yeah, pretty poor from us last week. We should be writing these down, because otherwise we just say them and then we forget. It's all right. I'll probably have to listen to this podcast 4 times to edit it anyway. So yeah, that's fine. I'll take a note. Okay, so just going back to the sort of levels of the different tournament, like the different tournaments that all play in the Heineken Cup. So you've got the top 14, which is France. Premiership, which is England, and then the URC, which is now what was the Pro was the Pro 14. Yeah, so that's and the Pro 12. So that's Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and South Africa. Yeah, I was going to say France. So if you look back, so since it's been the Heineken Cup, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14 finals with English sides in it. So I don't disagree. That's the 2 different tournaments. Oh shit, yeah. One sec. What am I looking at? We'll look at top level. We'll look at Champions Cup. It's not. It's just when they renamed it. No, that's the 2 different tournaments. That's the Champions Cup. Look at the year. The Heineken Cup is just the sponsorship name. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. So, because it's the same teams. So yeah, the point I was making is that I think back in these sort of years, the Prem sides. Oh no, but then I don't know. Maybe the point I'm making is wrong, but I think I'm seeing a pretty poor lack of English flags here, mate. Well, it's mostly French and Irish in it, but you know what? 1 Welsh, no Scottish. So yeah, I think I disagree with you there. I think it's predominantly French and Irish and English. I wasn't including Wales. I just said it wasn't English. No, I know. I'm just saying. That's what I'm just noticing. But yeah, I mean, well, Saracens are the 3rd biggest winners, Toulon losers. But let's also point out that they were proven to be cheating for a few years. Yeah,
but I don't really like Sarries anyway. So
I don't think anyone does.
yeah, so that is.
Either way, I think
the top 14 always dominate. Is what the point.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win
this year,
the Champions Cup this year.
Let's have a look at the fixture list.
All I do know is the Ospreys have got Sarries in the next round, the round of 16. I've actually got tickets.
Yeah,
I'm buzzing for it. I'm going to go down to Stone X. I'm going to do them over. Do you know what? Oh god, I can't type. I'm looking forward to it this year because I feel like it's a bit more. In previous years, I feel like it kind of gets a bit swept under the rug. The Champions Cup, I feel like you don't see about it as much. But this year, I feel like it's. But for me personally, I mean, the Ospreys have got into it for however many years now, but we'll always win one game or just none.
There we go. So
at least now that we're actually competing,
this round of 16, I like the look of a lot because that's not it. That's the last round of the pool. So then the round of 16 is saying here. So we got Edinburgh and Leicester, Munster and the Cell Sea Sharks, Stormers versus the Quins, Leinster versus Ulster, La Rochelle versus Gloucester. That'll be a good game.
Absolutely.
Exeter versus Montpellier, a great game. Toulouse versus Bulls and Sarries versus Ospreys. I think there's a lot to be looking at here because you've got straight off the bat their first season. There's 3 South African teams in there.
Yeah,
that's big. That's really quite big if you ask me because just that's their debut season. They're coming straight in and just taking over Europe. It's a bit like, go on. But yeah, no, I think a lot of these games will be very well. These are all good games, really good games actually. I think there'll be a few upsets. I can see an upset. I think that Sarries are the favourites to win your game. Yeah, I could see Ospreys doing them.
I could see it as well. I could definitely see it.
My dad went like this, but he always says back the Prem size. But I will be backing Ospreys in that.
Okay.
I could see Edinburgh upsetting Leicester.
Yeah, me too.
Especially
now, pretty poor in those two Ospreys games.
And we watched it in Leicester as well.
That's the thing you've got to remember as well. I know that Leicester have obviously they've had not as good a season they did last season, but the Ospreys are a very young building squad. I don't even want to know where we are on the table, but we're the bottom third. But it's probably about 12th out of 16.
I think La Rochelle and Gloucester will be a close game.
I don't know.
I want to back Gloucester obviously because we're in Gloucester.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Gloucester.
And they're my second team. Then I don't know why, but I want to see. I'm gonna back the team that's not South African in the South African games. I think.
Really?
Yeah, just because
you want to protect the integrity of the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know if I really liked the fact that they came into it. Yeah. Because I feel like it's European rugby,
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm gonna back Quins anyway because I really like Quins. I always say in the Prem. My top 3 is Exeter, Gloucester, Quins. So always going to be backing Quins in that game.
One thing you have got to remember though is that South Africa could have been in the Champions Cup for the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other 2 South African teams they just weren't good enough to qualify.
They were just a bit crap, weren't they?
So it's not new. It's just that now they've actually got good enough South African teams to make it into the Champions Cup.
That whole stuff going on there, I never really followed the URC properly until recently. So I barely follow it now. I just kind of keep up with it, looking at the scores and whatever. But I don't know. I just think it's a European tournament, so I want to see the European sides do better. But then I also don't want to see the French sides do very well. So it's
I think I'll definitely be back in the South African side against all the English sides.
Yeah, even Exeter.
Apart from Gloucester.
You got back Exeter.
If Gloucester end up playing a South African side, I'll back them.
If I'm back in Ospreys, you got back Exeter.
Who are they playing?
Montpellier.
No,
they beat Montpellier last year.
Montpellier won the tournament last year. Did not? No, La Rochelle won the tournament last year. But Montpellier won the
last year was
the top 14 last year.
Yeah, but I think Exeter would beat them. La Rochelle won last time.
Yeah, so Montpellier won the top 14 last year, so they're very good at the moment. Now the Ospreys did just do the double over them.
Recently, Exeter did knock out Montpellier. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it might have been last year because I think Exeter had Montpellier and.
If you're going to beat Montpellier, I'd say now's the time to do it because, like I said, the Ospreys just beat them home and away in the group stages. So, I would probably say that Exeter are more likely to win, but I would want Montpellier to win over them.
But that's why though.
Because
it's loads of Welsh players play for Exeter. It's not like it's England.
Like who? David Jenkins, Christians. That's it.
Yeah, but there was more. There used to be more.
But I'd rather
like Cuthbert and Francis used to play for Exeter. I think these more Welsh ones that used to play for Exeter.
Yeah, but I don't rate Cuthbert.
Okay. Don't rate them. Leinster and Ulster. I want to see Ulster win that just because they're the underdogs in that game, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that round of 16. There's a lot to look forward to there, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
31st of March to the 2nd of April. That's going to be a good few days of rugby, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm buzzing for that Ospreys game.
Yeah.
Against Saris. Do you know what? I think even if I go all the way down there and I lose, I'll still be pretty happy because that is the first time in 13 years I've seen them get all the group stages.
Yeah.
So for me, that's pretty big anyway. I think it's like it's a good building moment because I think we're probably gonna end up making it next year as well.
Yeah. No, I'd be happy to see Ospreys do all right. Ospreys Chiefs final would be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
It really would.
We'd have to. I don't know where the final is this year. That's in Aviva, isn't it? If it's okay, I'll shake your hand now. If it's Ospreys Chiefs or Ospreys Gloucester final,
it never will be. But
no, but if it happens,
if it does happen, yeah,
we'll go to Aviva.
If Ospreys make the final, I'm going either way. So yeah, I'll agree with that.
If it's a team I like playing Ospreys in the final, we'll go to Ireland and watch it.
That is fair. That's a good deal. No, is there anything else you want to talk about, mate, or is that all we got for today?
Well, no, because we've still got time, haven't we? I did write some notes. Let's see what else.
Yeah, but we don't want to stretch out any longer than it needs to be, because it'll just start to get dry. But if you've got something to talk about, we can.
What did I write earlier? I sent you some things. Oh no, we've kind of discussed everything really, but no, I think have we got room to talk about anything that have you got anything else written down?
No, that's all my notes there. We got talk about last weekend's games, this weekend's games.
Talked a bit about the Heineken.
Yeah.
So it's always weird because I've always just called it the Heineken Cup, but then I didn't even know it was called the Champions Cup. So
yeah, I've always just called it the Champions and the Challenge Cup. It's just easier to remember, isn't it?
I don't know.
The difference between the two.
Always just thought of it as just the Heineken Cup because the Heineken one and then it's the other one.
Yeah.
But the Challenge, yeah. But no, I think that'd be a very good round of 16.
Oh, this is another big thing to talk about.
Okay.
So Worcester Warriors officially dead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To the ground?
They will not be coming back as the Worcester Warriors. I believe they are coming back as another team.
The women's team is still the Worcester Warriors though, and they're still playing.
I wonder if they're like a separate entity though.
Well, they must be because they can still go, but because the Worcester Warriors women's team aren't too bad, I don't think. I actually know, I think someone on my course's sister plays for them or something, I can't remember.
So, Worcester have changed their name and they'll drop down to the championship.
Okay, and that's do you know what, when you said no, what was it? National League 2. 6 instead. Oh, here we go. Bloody hell, this is interesting. All right.
They'll rebrand with Stourbridge Rugby Club, who are at the bottom of National League 2.
So that's the same league as Red Roof, my home team, play in. But it won't be the same region. So.
And they'll play at 6-way still.
So they'll play at 6-way in what level?
In National League 2, with the hopes of building the club up to a Premiership team.
That's insane that they're going down to Nat League 2.
Well, I suppose they're not, are they? Because they've got no players, so all they're doing is branding. All they're doing is mixing the ground with the club.
Is it still going to be Stourbridge? Is it Stourbridge? I've not heard about this at all. This is all news to me.
It only happened this morning.
Not been up on my rugby this week, really.
Oh no, yeah, last night apparently.
Here we go. So let's have a little read. So this is, what paper is this? The Guardian.
Yeah. So
the RFU has been accused of obstructing the rescue of... Okay, so there's people complaining about the RFU. Shock. So claims had no option to bypass the conditions set by the RFU to play in next year's, resulting in the loss of the... So the Worcester Warriors name and business is completely dead.
Yeah, right, Warriors. If you're a Warriors fan, was nice little run for you there, but it's gone. It's never come back.
Well, you might not be a Warrior fan, but you will be.
Stourbridge Rugby Club 15.
A Stourbridge Rugby Club first 50. The fact as well that they're at the bottom of League 2 shows how little money they really
that'll
have.
Just be the owners, and I think any previous Warriors fans, they're not going to be following this new team, are they?
Why not though?
Because it's been bought by the owners who have just run them into the ground and completely taken away their childhood and lifelong passion and hobby.
True. Right, okay, let's have a look at all that. So National League 2, let's have a look. So National League 2 East, no, they're not in the East one.
They are in the West.
So, okay, so it is reduced league. Oh yeah, so This is interesting. So yeah, Red Reef is playing quite well at the minute. I didn't mean to click on them. Whoops. So like I said, I'm from this is where I played from, like 7 years old to Colts, and they're currently Stourbridge are in 14th, and they've played 18 games and won 1. So they're not doing great. Looking at their stats, I'm just on.
But they will be playing in a pretty big ground.
Pretty big
ground.
So yeah,
but it'll be a rebuild for them.
It's really interesting though, because how things like this will happen, because obviously they're going to have a bit of money flooding in. Do you think they're going to just go straight to the top of the table?
It'll be big money for National League 2, but from then I don't think much.
Oh, what will be good though is
because they did play in the Premiership. The owners obviously did own a Premiership club. Then they completely run it into the ground. So
yeah, but is it completely on the owners, or is it a mixture of?
It's no, on that particular occasion I think it's the owners.
So yeah, if I was a Stourbridge fan,
because the owners came out afterwards and started accusing
there was a lot
of players and coaches of being the reason they went under, because they refused to take pay cuts.
I did hear about that. I didn't.
But then the pay cuts weren't actually that,
So Stourbridge, for anyone who doesn't know, is on the outskirts of Dudley in Birmingham.
Dudley. Shout out to Sienna Grant.
She's our friend from Dudley.
Dudley.
So it's north of Worcester, so it's quite a bit further north of Worcester. See, now that's a bit. If you're a Stourbridge fan, that's a bit of a trek, isn't it? Like.
Yeah, but you'll take it though, won't you?
I don't know.
I can't imagine there's a massive fan group for Stourbridge Rugby Club, to be honest with you.
The Stourbridge Ultras go hard.
I don't know if they do, mate.
Let's have a look at how far it's from here. From our undisclosed location.
That could be interesting. We could go for a cheeky little match day.
Is it we're up the M5? But yeah, it's further than I thought.
Okay, maybe not.
Well, I don't know. But if Red Reef are coming up to Stourbridge. Oh, no, wait, that's to Stourbridge, not to Six Ways. So to Six Ways, it's really not far, is it? Six Ways too. It's only 40 minutes up. So
40 minutes. You could see me and Sam's at the
Red Reef versus Stourbridge.
Red Reef is Stourbridge game of the year.
That would be the game of the year.
But realistically, yeah, if you're a Warriors fan, you're not too happy at the moment here.
No.
Because obviously, I mean, you've got Wasps fans that are hoping they'll come back from next season. I don't know if there's any
Wasps
word on that.
Yeah, they're in the
Championship. But obviously, if you are a Warriors fan, you've probably been hoping that you come back next season in the Championship, and you've just been told today that actually no, we're just going to buy a new club and completely rebrand as Stourbridge Rugby Club.
Last info on the Wasps I heard, don't quote me on this because I haven't got the fact checker up yet, but it is that they're being let back into the Championship. Oh my god, this website is pissing me off, right? Last they posted was stung but in recovery. So here we go. This is, I don't think this is accurate because, oh okay, I don't know much about this.
It will be accurate. If it's in the Telegraph, it'll be accurate.
Okay, so according to the Telegraph, Wasps were in talks with Six Way Stadium for the newly rebranded Worcester Warriors. So they want to be sharing Worcester Stadium,
which makes sense because they've got no money to buy one.
Yeah,
and they were already sharing one in Coventry.
If you were a London Wasps fan before they moved to Coventry, you are just kicking yourself, really, aren't you? There,
yeah,
that's even further, isn't it? So yeah, let's have a little look. It was announced that Worcester will no longer exist, and Stourbridge again. So the RFU have said, this isn't very professional. I do apologise.
This is a very bad podcast. We do apologise.
Yeah, it's kind of
not going well.
It's fine. Worcester Warriors flying as flag. Okay, so yeah, but by the looks of it, Wasps will be coming back as Wasps in the Championship, but also will be sharing Six Ways, which could be good for us because we could go and watch some champ games nearby.
Oh, can't wait, mate. Championships gets me so excited.
What do you mean the Championship is best to win?
We don't go to enough Premiership games. I'm not going to more Championship games than Premiership.
Yeah, but they're cheap though, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Mate, National League 1 down in Cinderford is 10 quid a ticket.
Fucking hell.
That's what I'm saying. You can get in the shed for 20.
By the looks of it then, Wasps are coming back in the champ, but we'll be playing it in Six Ways, sharing it with the new team, Stourbridge.
Yeah, well, not Stourbridge. I think they're just rebranding entirely.
No, I think they're rebranding to Stourbridge.
Really?
That's what it says.
No, because Stourbridge is already the team.
Yeah, so I think it's just Stourbridge are taking over.
It's Worcester taking over Stourbridge.
No, they're just combining. But I think they're still being called Stourbridge.
Well, they're not really combining, are they? Because they haven't got any players or... It's not the name. There's no players coming in from Worcester, so all they're giving him is a stadium.
I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something.
They are. We'll find out soon.
Who knows? The Prem... it's in the mud.
Well, we're going to get a little clip of this on Instagram and let us know in the comments what do you think of Stourbridge and their future prospects of winning the Champions Cup in 4 years.
Do you know what? I'm glad that we got on this because this is
quite interesting.
Oh, hot damn! This was actually meant to be this week. Was meant to be Worcester versus Wasps game today.
Oh, rest in peace. Today,
so, yeah,
I feel like we should take a 10-second silence.
That's gotta be fake. That look, I've literally just googled the Prem today.
Should we take a 10-second silence?
Support. I can't count to 10.
There's a clock on the wall.
Oh, there is. I'm not very good at maths.
There's a stuff there. It's fine. They're gone anyway. Worcester and
Worcester and Wasps dead in the mud.
But Wasps on their way back.
Yeah,
hopefully it'd be good to see them get to top flight one day.
Hopefully, I'd love to see. I mean, like, I'd love to see them.
It'd be a good comeback story.
Yeah, work their way up for the leagues.
Yeah, like Stourbridge Rugby Club.
Yeah,
who's got more chance of winning the Champions Cup in the next 10 years? Red Rouge or Stourbridge?
Stourbridge. Come on, you Stourbridgians.
Oh, we're gonna have to go to a game.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have to.
When we're properly rebranded and they're back in some sort of playing capacity, we'll have to go. But yeah, I think that was a good little conversation.
That was a nice little
I'm glad we came back on that because I think
definitely
we kind of flopped a bit and then that
well, I think especially when there's just not much.
There's not much
news this week. There's not much. I thought there'd have been. You've got a couple big omissions. You've got the Marcus Smith. You've got the Wales backline being dropped. But you've had no big injuries. You've had nothing like.
Yeah, my biggest sort of news source for rugby, and it's usually pretty good for everything new, is the Rugby Union Reddit page, and
I wouldn't use that as a legitimate source.
Well, no, but most of it comes from. Most of it is articles that have been put into this thing. So that's why I kind of use it. I'm not going to cite Reddit, but what I will cite is that this is like England Rugby saying like that is the official England Rugby page. Like, so anything new is usually put on here. So like I was scrolling through here earlier, and most of it is just like just team sheets.
It'll all be team sheets today. Because the weekend.
When there's slow news, you just see things like this. Like it's just like this was what Italy Stadium used to look like in 2000. And
it's been a pretty boring week. There's been no big injuries. There's been no big news.
What I was talking about with Cabuso's French passport.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's just like this is where I get a lot of my sources from. But
yeah, I think that's all we got for this week. It's been a pretty boring one in terms of news. So it's just like the team news.
That's quite funny. Can I share that meme for the podcast?
Yeah, we'll check it on the screen now.
Yeah, meme, funny meme.
Bosh.
I can't believe you've done this.
I think that's all we got for today, mate. Is there any final remarks you want to say? Maybe another little code word to anyone you want to watch. Yeah, anyone watching this, just hit me up with a I love rugby. I love rugby. 2 Samps. His phone number is now on the screen. No, it's not. That is not very safe. No, we're not putting your phone number on the screen. Do something funny there, just like 01209. Go fuck yourself or something. Okay, right. Well, it's just on there now. Bosh. Anyway, that's all we got for today. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for all the good feedback on the first episode, because we actually got a lot more than I thought we did. Actually get quite a lot. I thought it was just going to be us, Charlotte, my dad, your dad, but we've actually got quite a lot. Yeah. So we'll take that. So thanks to everyone that watched the first episode. Hopefully you're actually stuck around to watch the second. But we'll find out when we get our feedback in the next couple of days. But anyway. No, I think So I think we kind of were a bit discombobulated this episode, but we're still learning. We are still learning. But we've got visuals this week. Yeah. So that's a good thing. This is quite funny as well. I think we'll put that on screen maybe if we can. I don't think we can. It's a bit of a crime, isn't it? But yeah, that's what we got for today. But thank you. But thank you very much for joining us, the Rucking Good podcast episode 2. We hope you have somewhat enjoyed. Yeah. Join us next week. We'll get ours out, and hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting rugby news next week. Yeah, and next week's episode will hopefully be out on the Thursday. Allows a bit more time for you massive Rucking Good podcast fans to listen and watch. Wait, there's a break week next week anyway. Is there? Oh. Maybe a guest episode. Oh, guest episode. Who could we have? Oh, well, we'll leave that quiet. We'll email Squid Rugby and the rugby guy. Absolutely. Breaking news, but actually getting Owen Farrell on next week to talk about Marcus Smith. Anyways, they were in uni the other day. At our uni, the England team, we're in... This was about a month ago, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, training. I know, they were training at the uni. Yeah, it's quite cool.
if they come back,
Yeah.
we'll run in with our microphones. Owen,
Any thoughts on Marcus Smith? Who would
Any
win in a
thoughts on the
fight?
podcast?
Who would win in a fight? Can we book you in for this afternoon? But yeah, next week's episode will be out on the 17th, hopefully, of February, on the Friday. So join us then. Keep your Instagram notifications on.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay attention.
Just subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, follow, listen, enjoy.
Love,
all the above.
Love life. And happy Valentine's Day to all you happy little couples out there. I will be throwing rocks at you.
That is a lovely little remark from you, mate. I'm sure they all really appreciate
Happy
that.
Valentine's Day to you. You got your first Valentine's Day coming up.
Yeah, we'll leave that. It's a rugby podcast. We'll keep it professional. But we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us for episode 2.
Bye-bye. I don't know why I did those little salute. That was a bit silly.
I did it as
well.
Yeah,
I know you did.